Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Benton Gamer, and, hold on a second. This isn't right. No, that's not it either. There we go, that's better. Now, where was I? What was I gonna say? Oh, that's it, Sonic Generations is freaking awesome! I'm gonna stop wearing this. So yeah, I got Sonic Generations exactly, it's the 15th, so 2 weeks ago now. And I actually got it Tuesday, and did not play it till Thursday because of schoolwork, editing other videos. Not that any are posted on my channel. But yeah, so today, 2 weeks later, I just beat the entire game. Not the story that I beat in 2 days, it was pathetic. I just got all the red rings, I beat all the missions, and let me tell you, some of those missions were a pain in the ass to do. And the red rings are too bad. I like the red rings. It's a better system than medal hunting, like Sonic Unleashed. But I'm here today to talk about my first impressions on the game. What I thought about, you know, my first initial playthrough of this masterpiece. It's awesome. So yeah, this isn't a formal review, just impressions. So, firstly, I am prepared to talk about the negative aspects of this game, even though they're very minor. But first I'd like to talk about the positive aspects. What do they do right with this game? Number one, the level design. The level design is probably the best in 3D Sonic history. There's multiple pathways, there's every pathway branches off into a different pathway, so there's so many little different pathways within all the pathways, even though they all, you know, lead to that one goal ring. And it's just a really, wow. Not only are there different pathways, but there's just a lot going on. There's like, not just different pathways, but they're well designed. They're not just put there. They don't feel forced in. They feel like they naturally would run like the place you're in would run. They're designed so well around the mechanics of each level. And there's a negative aspect right there, the levels. In terms of themes, well, it's Green Hill Zone, Chemical Plant Zone, Sky Sanctuary, Speed Highway, City Escape, duh. Seaside Hill, Crisis City, Rooftop Run, and Planet Wisp. Now, all these are old level designs. Well, they're old level themes, I should say. They don't exactly feel... Well, no, actually they do. We've seen these before, especially Green Hill Zone. We've seen a bajillion Green Hill Zones. Not even including Green Hill Zone. But they feel so different because of the level design and the gameplay style that they feel like completely different levels, completely different environments, completely different themes, and it's just a fantastic feeling. Looking at how detailed the backgrounds are, it's amazing. It's got, for modern Sonic, it's, well, you're not really looking at the background, you're in a modern perspective, you're looking forward. So what you can see is off in the distance always, but when you're classic Sonic, the backgrounds are so detailed, they kind of move, they blur a little bit when you move, but not like some crappy effect or anything. It looks like it would if you were moving by at the speed of sound, and it's got parallax scrolling. If you don't know what parallax scrolling is...
Hey Noah, you want to play catch with this frisbee?
Hells yeah, I do!
Too bad, let's play with this waffle. First person shooter waffles.
Back to the matter at hand, this game also has some of the best control in 3D Sonic history. Now, modern Sonic, well, it's Sonic Unleashed styled, but when you're in slower sections where you're just moving around, not, you know, boosting through everything, it feels like it controls a little bit smoother. It's not perfect because there are a few little minor details that I don't like. For example, the light speed dash has been kind of it's nerfed. It's context sensitive, like, or specific, context specific. Like, you can only use it in certain spots. If a line of rings is glowing and has a Y next to it prompting you to do it, then you can do it. If there's just a line of rings, you can't do it to straighten yourself out, but you really don't need it because you have the quick step, like you did in Sonic Unleashed. And you pretty much you have all your moves and everything from Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Colors, but it's more Sonic Unleashed style because the boost looks the same. It's not two lines of rainbows coming from behind you or whatever, like it was in Colors. But for Classic Sonic, it's a little different. It's not quite like the Classic series. You don't roll down hills quite as much because, well, I never find myself rolling into a ball just to roll into a ball. I always find myself using the hotkey on the button, or on the controller. See, you can either duck down and hit the jump button, you know, mash the crap out of it so you can take off even faster, but I don't ever do that. I just use the hot button like it was in Sonic Adventure or Sonic Adventure 2, but on a 2D plane. And you also, you don't have the homing attack like you did in Sonic 4, and, oh god. Actually, you do if you unlock it. Yeah, that's right. I know. I've heard of I know all the power-ups and all the achievements. Or, actually, no. I take that back. I don't know all the achievements because I haven't gotten all the achievements in this game yet. I've beaten all the missions. I've got all the unlockable stuff, and I've got all the red rings. I even have the statue room all done. But anyway, back to the controls of modern Sonic. It feels good. It works. The only problem is trying to spin dash jump, really. You gotta wait at least 10 feet before you can jump. You can't, like, have a small platform, here's Sonic, and then jump off right from there. You're gonna take off, because this spin dash is like the original spin dash on drugs. Like, it's really fast. Honestly, I think, because in the hub world you're in, if you're just boosting as Modern Sonic, I think your spin dash actually goes faster, but it's not as constant. So it's equalized, but the spin dash is just a lot faster. Also, I think his jump has been a little bit downtrodden. Classic Sonic's jump isn't quite as high, and also Modern Sonic's jump, I should mention. Sonic Colors, you had a double jump. Here, you don't. You have the homing attack and the air boost and all that. Well, it's just like a little, just a little air jump, swoosh, rather than a kaboom boost. God, what am I doing? Why do I have a Sonic toy? Don't ask. It's for art purposes, I guess. I don't know. I like drawing Sonic. See? Sonic characters. Ugh. Don't like that one. That one's awesome. And then, what do we have here? Oh, Jet the Hawk, unfinished. I'm getting off topic. Should go back to this. Now that I've talked about control and level design, some of the most important things in this game that make it so great, I've got to talk about the story, too. It's incredibly downplayed for a 20th anniversary game, and it doesn't feel right. It feels like there should be something more, because for the occasional cutscene that you get, it's not all that impressive. Like, one time when after the first boss battle of the game with the Death Egg the Death Egg robot, you get a cutscene where both Sonics and both Tails meet up, and they think, look, I think I figured it out. Yeah, me too. Doubles of us, places and enemies from our past. We're traveling through time and space. No freaking shit. Sonic Generations past blatantly obvious Act 1. Yeah, I stole that from the Sonic Rex channel. It's not my original joke. Sonic Rex, yeah. But back to the story, it just feels like there could have been more. I mean, if you're familiar with it, if you play the game or not, I'm gonna say spoiler alert right now. the final boss is Eggman. Big shock, but what everyone thought originally was you're going to be fighting this big cloud. It's something, I don't know, it's Kronos' fart. Not Chrono from Chrono Trigger, Kronos, like the Greek Titan god thing, whatever. Master of Time shit, I don't know. It's I don't know, Eggman discovered it somewhere out in space after he got beaten in Sonic Colors, I guess. So Eggman somehow takes over the mind of a god monster and uses it to its abilities for controlling time. A little side note here, kind of random, but the manual, it's pretty thin, honestly. It's got 2 sections, and the other, basically half of this is in Spanish, so the half we're seeing is just this. It's kind of boring. What happened to the days of, like, game manuals being super colorful and full of life and stuff? They got you interested for the game. It's like, look at the colors. Oh my gosh. This is gonna be awesome. Let's play this bitch. They don't do that anymore. They make them black and white. But it's a matter of hand. Wow, I seem to get distracted a lot. But also in terms of story, like I said, all the level themes in the story, it's you're going back and you're trying to restore like all the times from Sonic's past and make it so the time meter controlled by Eggman is not like you know, he's sort of torn apart time. Everything's in this weird white limbo. That's something Tails said, I think. So as both Sonics, you got to go back and restore different parts of the level. And actually, so like once you beat Classic Sonic, half of the background fills up with color and stuff, and the other half fills up. And once you've done that, you unlock a different character. Not to play as, just they kind of just you unlock them and they stand there. They just were sort of frozen in front of each level, even if it doesn't make sense if they're there. Like Charmy in front of the Planet Wisp. I don't know why he wasn't in that game. They had to fit the Chaotix in somewhere. So, but after you beat each level, you gotta go get... like, after you've beaten the 3 levels, 6 acts, 2 for each Sonic, or no, 1 for each of the 2 Sonics, you've gotta go do at least 1 mission. You don't even have to get an S rank, you just have to beat it. You can get a D for all anyone cares. And then you unlock getting, you can get to a key, and once you get a key from each of the 3 levels in the era, then you get to go fight the boss. Once you fight the boss, you can move on to the next era. There's the Classic era, the Dreamcast era, and the Modern era, and for some reason Seaside Hill is in the Dreamcast era, even though that was on the GameCube and the PlayStation 2. Not the Dreamcast. Poor Dreamcast. It had to fail. Someone had to move out. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about the story. In terms of just aesthetic stuff, like graphics, they're beautiful, but for some reason the Xbox version, which is the one I own, because I don't have a PS3, I don't really want a PS3 necessarily, because I don't think they're back compatible with PS2 games, or PS1 games. I've heard that there are ones, but those were the originals, and I don't want to go buy one now, when it's sort of like an Xbox. They're kind of the same thing. They have similar... oh, they have a similar library of games. Okay, I'm gonna start a 360 PS3 fanboys war here. Okay, I'm just gonna shut up now. Moving on though, the score one for the PS3. For some reason the video file, or that's just it. It's a video file. The opening cutscene of this game in the Xbox 360 version is a crappy video file. At first I'm wondering like, what's going on? Is my disc dusty or something? Does it have scratches on it? What the crap? I just got this. I don't want that to happen. For some reason it's not low polygon. It's just low resolution. Just it's pixelated. It's really glaring and it's not nice to look at. I mean, it's still colorful and everything. It looks fine if you can get past that, but it's just kind of annoying that they missed something like that. The fact that it's in not a real-time event, but it's a video file. Other than that, the graphics are beautiful, especially for in-game. And that's really what counts. Cutscenes look nice, but most of the cutscenes are located inside the weird white limbo. Gotta stop saying that. So there's really not much to look at. In terms of music, it's all fantastic. But something that bugs me is when you're standing outside the little hub worlds of each, or in the hub world of in front of each level to enter it. Every one has like some sort of like orchestral Celtic remix or something. It's got, you know, violins and flutes and instruments and ocarinas maybe. Probably not. But the only one that didn't get that was Speed Highway. It's the only one that stayed, you know, a rock theme. It's the only one that stayed the same. Which kind of bugs me a little bit, the fact that all of them are different, but that one's not. I'm still holding this. But in terms of music overall, it is really great. I love the classic remixes. I love the modern remixes, even though, like, you know, newer games like Unleashed and Colors, the modern remixes really don't matter. They're the same thing. Even for Seaside Hill, it's kind of glaring, the fact that it's so similar. But in terms of classic remixes, I gotta say Speed Highway and City Escape are like two examples of perfect classic remixes. They kind of make it a techno vibe that I feel like would work on a Genesis, you know, how it sounds and everything. Of course, not that kind of, it would sound like crap if you tried putting an audio file like that on a Genesis cartridge, because this, compared to this, doesn't have a lot of memory. But I should probably talk about the missions now. They feel sort of, well, one might think that it would be like a way to artificially lengthen the game, because this game is short. Like I said, there's not a lot on story, and there's not a lot on levels either. There's 18 levels, and they go by really fast. And just the story, no, you know, I'm gonna go back to story. I got more to talk about. They really do miss a lot of moments. They do point out like how, hey, does that look familiar? Does Green Hill Zone look familiar to you, Tails? It's like, not to me. It doesn't seem familiar to me at all. And how they point out how like Chemical Plant Zone, the purple, the pink water makes them kind of nervous. They make a lot of tongue-in-cheek moments here and there, little references and stuff. The first one's really funny though. You can probably just find it on YouTube. First cutscene, or second cutscene. I just think they could have done a lot more here and there. Just, you know, make more references, make more classic characters. You see classic Sonic and classic Tails is there for some reason. But you don't see like a classic Knuckles, which it wouldn't be that different, but like they should have made like a classic Chaotix, you know, really thin Vector, and Espio with like the heavier brow and the green shoes. Charmy being, you know, really small, the actual size of a bee, I suppose. And especially Amy, I mean, that's like the biggest difference. I mean, there's a difference between hairband and red dress versus white shirt with green skirt, and I don't know. It's just a big difference. They could have made a few character models for. I mean, they made character models for flickies and stuff. Who cares? But you could have made character models for other stuff. Make a classic version of everything for Classic Sonic, because when you change in the hub world from modern to Classic Sonic, you can see Classic Tails standing in front of Green Hill Zone, along with Classic Sonic, and vice versa for modern. Anyway, I should probably talk about bosses too. The bosses are really the highlight of the game, except for the last boss. God, it's just a terrible final boss, but we'll get to that in a second. The boss and rival battles are really great reimaginations of every boss fight, and yes, I've played Super Sonic Racing over the Shadow fight. It's very funny, and everything just seems upgraded in a way, especially the Silver Battle. The Silver Battle is like, instead of being in this little 20 by 20 square foot patch of Soliana, who cares, it makes it a lot more awesome. You're fighting him in Crisis City. I don't know why he's there, but it's a badass fight. The voice acting on Silver is better. He seems a lot more badass. His powers are jacked up like crazy. It's like, bullshit, he couldn't do that in the game. Why can't I do that? You tell me, Sega, why couldn't I do that 5 years ago? Tell me. But yeah, every boss in this game is just, it's fun to play, but I feel like they should have made a modern and a classic perspective, like, version of the fight for each boss and rival. That would have been interesting, because modern Sonic has 4 bosses slash rivals, and Classic Sonic only has 2. I just think it would have been better the other way, like, make a Metal Sonic fight in a modern perspective. You know, something like that. Simple. I just think it would have been better. cares if it doesn't quite fit into the story or something? The story's so weak anyway. So, I think I was talking about music before I got back to something I should have been talking about before, but, I love just about every song on this game. There's not one I don't like. I know you can unlock music by beating missions and getting rings, and also artwork by doing that. And you can... I do like the change music option. I don't usually do it, actually, because I don't like the music that goes with the level. I usually do it if I'm getting, like if I'm getting sick of a mission's music or something. Or, because for some reason missions will sometimes, like the Sky Sanctuary Knuckles level from Modern, where you gotta have them dig to find medals and stuff for some reason. It uses the Sega Saturn music from the Sonic 3D Blast version of that game. Or Saturn version of that game. I don't know why it does, but it's kind of a loop and it's not a... Blech. Don't hate it, just don't like it. Overall, in terms of a game, it's great. It's fantastic. It's amazing. It is mind-blowing! But in terms of a story, it's pretty weak, especially for a 20th anniversary thing, and it's downplayed, and it hurts this game only slightly. Yeah, my only gripes are a few problems with the control, like a gimped jump for Classic, the stupid control on the Lightspeed Dash, and the last boss is kind of a disappointment because all you have to do is boost and gather rings and just hit them. There's not really a lot of strategy to it, just avoid stuff, and it's got Sonic 06's problem of never shutting up, with all the characters somehow calling to you on the sidelines, even though you're in a time warp. So that's pretty much all I have to say about Sonic Generations, and... Wait! It's playable in 3D... Where is it? There it is! Playable in 3D! I don't own a 3D TV, so it doesn't really matter. Although I'm kind of curious to see what this would play like on a 3D TV. If I know someone with a 3D TV and an Xbox, I'll say, hey, let's play this game. Let's put on the glasses and play. I mean, I'm sure the game would look awesome, but maybe not as much because, 3D TV technology's not there yet. Quite-ish. For any Sonic fan, I'd say get this game. Definitely. If you don't already, go buy it. If you don't own an Xbox or PS3, buy one. In terms of 3DS, I don't own a 3DS. I plan on getting one sometime down the line, and getting this game for it, definitely, because it's like an alternate version of the game. It's got different levels and different bosses, but it's not on my high priority list right now. So yeah, would I suggest getting this game? Yeah, I would. I would definitely suggest getting this game. Well, at least for any Sonic fan, because this whole game is like it's a big nostalgia rush, especially the end credits, because And so, what I say buy this game? I already said this, what am I talking about? Yes, buy this game if you're a Sonic fan. If you're not a Sonic fan, I say do a little research about previous levels and gimmicks and stuff, and maybe just go on Wikipedia, look up, like, oh, what level, I think that's the one from the original Sonic, I think that one's from Sonic Adventure 2, oh hey, yeah, these are kind of neat, I wonder what the originals are like. Yeah, play this game. It introduces you to, like, all the major Sonic titles. Save for a few, because it's only got 9 different stages in it. Yeah, 9 zones, 2 acts for each. And, so yeah, what do I say about this game in terms of a score? Ranking out of 10? This is just an impressions thing, I suppose. I'm sort of doing a review here. It's like a vlog review, I guess. I don't know what this is. But yeah, I'd give this a 10 out of 10. If the story weren't so lacking, I can only give it a 9.5 if I want to be harsh. If I want to judge it just in terms of the game, like ignore the story, like just accept the story for what it is, how simple it is, yeah, I give this a 10 out of 10. I give this either a 9.5 or a 10 out of 10. I don't want to do 9.7 or something, because that's just weird. I go by 0.5s. So I'd give this game a 10 out of 10 for everything except the story. That's my only problem with it. really. I can get past a few little control issues because it's fast platforming. You got to be able to react quickly, and sometimes it's my own fault. But if you don't own this game and you're a Sonic fan, what the hell's wrong with you? Go get this game now. Go buy an Xbox. Go buy a PS3. If you don't already have one, go buy this game. You need to get this. I'm the Benton Gamer. That was my first vlog review, and well, Sonic, happy 20th birthday, man. Here's to another 20 years of great Sonic games. I hope the series just goes up from here, because I love this guy. Just my biggest video gaming idol, and just happy birthday, Sonic. Have fun, dude.